In this video, I'm in Turin driving a Fiat Panda Hybrid, which to me feels like an absolutely brand new car, and it is. It's got about 300 kilometers on it. It is pretty much brand new. But this design of Panda has been around since 2011, which is quite a long time ago. This has the latest hybrid power plant. It's a 1 litre 3-cylinder. You know I love a 3-cylinder engine. So I thought I'd give you a report on how we're finding it and what it's actually like to drive. And I can also tell you, this car has a 0 Euro NCAP rating currently. When it was retested in 2011, it went from 4 stars to no stars. Apparently not very good for child protection, doesn't have all the gizmos that is kind of demanded by Euro NCAP now. But maybe that's a good thing, because it also means it hasn't got stupid automatic braking and things. But let's dive in and we'll start by having a look at the engine. So under the bonnet, and we can actually see it. It is the little Firefly 1 litre engine, 999cc. But the important bit is there is an electric motor sort of sandwiched in between the engine and the gearbox. So that provides some assistance. Oh, there's a lovely ring in there, a bit tinny. But it is a relatively cheap car. Yeah, that provides some electric assist, and it's also got a bit of regen as well. So as soon as you're lifting off and coasting, it's charging the hybrid battery back up again. And to be honest, it doesn't behave like some hybrids. It hasn't got the ability to drive just on the electric motor. The engine always propels the vehicle. It's just that little bit of assist to give it a bit more grunt. And I wish you could smell this engine bay, because it smells like things are burning. We assume that isn't a problem. Here at the back we have it proudly saying hybrid, so this replaces all the engine. I think it's the only engine option you've got now. So the old twin air engine, which I tested previously in a cross 4x4 model, is gone, and I have to say this engine is a lot smoother. Got an electric release on here, and they've kindly provided snow chains. We're hoping it doesn't get that cold. It's not a split rear seat, but it does fold down for a bit more space, and it's not a bad boot, certainly compared to the first of these modern Pandas. The Mark III Pandas, the boot is very, very tiny. That is a little more usable, I think. There's little Panda signs everywhere you look. Any excuse, they just went, yep, we'll put Panda there. There's Panda in the rear lights, and as we'll see when we open the door, it's very Panda-y indeed. So jumping aboard, and it's a very nice driving position. I've got somewhere to rest my clutch foot, 6-speed gearbox here, and a bit unusually for a modern car, we've still got analog dials for the rev counter and the speedometer. So I don't know if you even heard that start up. It uses the electric motor to start the engine as well, so it works really well as a stop start because it is super smooth. Reminds me very much of the first generation Honda Insight. We'll turn her off again. But yeah, all the controls fall nicely to hand. There's nothing distracting on the steering wheel, no buttons at all. You can cycle through the trip computer with a button on the windscreen wiper stalk. There is this very, very simple little display in the middle which does the radio and tells you a bit about what's going on with the electrical system, but isn't distracting. That's quite refreshing as well. But yeah, it's very nice. Everything feels really nice, high quality in here. This generation of Panda built in Italy again. The Mark III was built in Poland. But certainly from a driving point of view, it feels pretty nice here. But what about from a passenger point of view? That's where things start going a little more wrong. It is, with the seat set for me, it is very, very tight on headroom, and I've got the head restraint going straight into my back. There we go. Yeah, that's a bit of a nice hard head restraint. It's not designed for comfort, so a limousine this certainly isn't. But yeah, it is a bit cozy here. You wouldn't want 3 of you in the back for sure, so I'm going to stay in the front. Look, keep fit windows in the back. Did they go all the way down? No. And we've got the limo tint for privacy. I find the styling is quite nice as well. I love the little cube rear window, the high rear lights for good visibility, and I think it's got a bit of a smiley front end as well. So it's getting a little dated perhaps. I've got the indicators here inboard of the headlamps. I'd prefer them to be down there, to be honest. Instead we got driving lights in there. But it's still just a really nice piece of design. Maybe a future classic, just like previous Pandas, who knows. Oh, and we must just take in the wheels as well. It looks like they're alloy wheels, but they're not. These are plastic covers over gappy steels. So you can still see the brakes. It looks like an alloy wheel, but it is just a piece of plastic. And you can see how new the brake calipers are. This really is a brand new car. Right then, so we've just moved the car, so I just need to put the clutch down. You can just hear the little electric spin. It's very, very smooth start, just like my Inva car, funnily enough, which also has a belted electric motor start. Oh my gosh, Tata Indica. That's the City Roper. So we've got a pedestrian here. I come to a stop. The stop start engages. Sorry, I got very distracted by that. I was not expecting to see a Tata Indica today. The suspension works reasonably well on these utterly dreadful roads. It's following us. We are being followed by a Tata Indica. Camera person to the rear. Wow. There's an unexpected bonus in this road test. But the stop start works from 18 miles an hour. So if I knock her into neutral now, the engine has cut out. And that's actually meant to happen. It kind of feels like it shouldn't. We're going to move, so clutch down, engine starts again into second gear. Nice light steering, and I don't think we're even in city mode at the moment. But we are driving past the Lingotto factory. We'll be doing a video on this. No Pandas were ever made here, but it's still a mightily impressive building here in Turin. But yeah, it's just a nice car to drive. It doesn't blow you away, but it is quite nice. It's nagging me to change gear. It does that an awful lot. Oh, there's some pedestrians waiting, so I'm going to stop. So the engine has cut out. Into second, engine fires back up, and on we go. I will say I think there are too many gears, because you have to change like every few seconds. It seems you're changing gear and it's nagging you. Shift, okay, shift. But as we're driving along, it recharges the battery. I can see the hybrid battery is currently at about 50%. So every time I lift off, a little light comes on to tell me that we're regenning, and that's something I like as well. It just feels like constructive use of car momentum to turn some of it into battery power. You don't plug it in. It's not a plug-in hybrid. It's just designed to try and make it a bit better on emissions. Whether it does or not, we can't really tell you on this test. We've only driven 41 miles so far. Why is it in miles? Would it not be metric? Interesting. But yeah, the roads of Turin are a very good test of suspension, which it mostly passes. I think any car would be uncomfortable on these roads. But yeah, first gear is ridiculously low. You almost don't need it. You just pull away in second. And it feels quite torquey, because I think at lower revs, the electric motor is really helping the little engine along. Oh, there's a tight gap. Lovely little utility trucks. I'm loving those very much. Out of my way, Alfa Romeo. I'm coming through. So you have to change your driving. I'm not used to knocking a car into neutral when I'm slowing down. I'm from the generation where you were taught to use the gears to slow. See if I can get this junction right this time. So as soon as we're moving, we're into second gear. But if you rev it, it sounds great because it's a 3-cylinder engine. It's just unfortunate, but that's not how you're meant to drive it. To get the economy, you have to keep the revs low, and it's very, very happy to do that. Traffic light Grand Prix with whatever it is next to me. I lose to a Kia. A race car it isn't. Why this car's in the bus lane, we've no idea. That's meant to be buses and trams only, but it seems if you think you've got a decent enough excuse, you just drive in the tramway. Yeah, we haven't really got to test the handling of the Panda, because we've just been in city mode. But yeah, it's nice, light, nimble, easy to park. And I've been surprised by the refinement. I think it's really, really peaceful as well. I know I'm used to old clunkers, but it actually feels almost luxurious in the noise levels. It's very quiet. Important business of the wiper test. And look at that, we got a nice wiping performance, no triangle of doom, good overlap. It's very pleasing. Set of windscreen wipers at the front. And at the rear, a flood down the screen, which means inevitably some dribbles of disappointment, I feel. So the Firefly engine we thought was doomed because work is progressing on a replacement Panda at long last, and it looks like that Panda is pretty much going to be a rebadged Peugeot because Stellantis. So the Firefly engine introduced for this car and the Fiat 500, the old model, was looking doomed. But we hear talk that the electric Fiat 500 may be getting converted to petrol, because not everyone is ready for electric yet. And you know, I love electric, but I understand not everyone is ready for that leap to electric. So could the engine live on? We shall see. Oh, I'm losing to a bloody Citroen Nemo now. It's a great little engine. It's very, very smooth. And it feels more plucky than, say, the Seat Me. Although it's a very similar horsepower. I think the overall horsepower of the combined unit is 70 brake horse. We'll just take a moment to admire the Daihatsu Terios while I try and work out where the hell this cyclist is going. And the very, very green Fiat Kubo. Oh, it should be in neutral. Otherwise, it doesn't shut off. But yes, there are many, many Fiat Pandas here. They're obviously still very popular, which I guess is why it's still in production. It's a remarkably lengthy production for a modern car. 13 years since production began, and they're still going. Very strange. But yeah, overall, we have loved it. It's been the perfect car for bombing around Turin, unless you can get your hands on a classic Fiat 500, which we apparently haven't. So there we go, as we coast to a stop in silence. That was the Fiat Panda Hybrid. A very likeable car. It just feels like a Fiat, and there is no greater compliment, especially in a former home of Fiat here in Lingotto. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to head to the HubNut store if you would like to buy some delicious merchandise, and I'll see you in a future video. Farewell. Perfect. So there we go. That is the... What's the bloody radio playing? That's because you got out, so the stop-start kicked off. So I'll go back and try that again.
Another go?
Yeah.